Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. It is Friday, March 20th, 2015. It's the first day of spring. Happy spring! Yay! My driveway's still an ice rink, but it's coming. This is what's going on, and I have questions to answer. Now, folks, most of the questions I answer are when someone emails me a specific question and they put in the subject line question. Or it is something that someone has asked me on video that I have answered more than once, and I just kind of want to answer it once and for all. But someone asked, Salt Madness asked, could you give your thoughts on different pressure canners? I'm scared of the Presto canner because a family member had a new one blow up on them, and I was given a new glass top stove for Christmas because our old one died, and it says you can pressure can on it, but all the pressure canners say you cannot. Well, I canned on a glass top stove and I broke it over time. But you just have to be careful. The newer glass top stoves may be rated for pressure canners, but like any glass top stove, you just have to be very careful. I know J-Null Zero has a glass top stove, or had a glass top stove. I don't know if he still does, and he cans on it all the time. And if your family member blew up a brand new canner, then there was several things that they could have done wrong that would have caused that problem. Pressure canners undoubtedly can be a problem if you do not treat them with the respect that they deserve. Okay? Always follow the manufacturer's directions when it comes to amount of water, venting of steam, and never, ever, ever leave your pressure canner running and unattended. Never ever leave the room until after it has been shut off and is cooling down. Okay? 9 times out of 10, if a pressure canner blows up, it's because somebody made a mistake in how they were handling it. Don't be afraid. If you follow the manufacturer's instructions and the instruction booklet, you should never have a problem. I have been pressure canning now for 21 years, and touch wood, never had a problem. Okay, your hubby does not look like a fussy eater. Oh, guys, if you only knew. When I met my husband 25 years ago in June, okay, he ate meat, potatoes, and corn. His idea of a salad was what was on his sub. Okay? 25 years of me teaching him how to eat and him teaching me how to cook for him. You learn together. And the thing is I mean, the first time I got him to eat broccoli, okay, I smothered it in cheese sauce. Today he'll eat broccoli with a bit of butter. I mean, you learn together, okay? He was a fussy eater. His parents, never forced them to eat their vegetables. Sorry, but even grown-ups eat their vegetables at my house. What does it mean, oil them? Now, this question was talked about in my dehydrating raw eggs video. Now, I no longer dehydrate raw eggs, not because I think it's a bad thing or there's anything wrong with it. It's just because I don't need to dehydrate them. We keep only 8 laying hens. So when we do have a lot of eggs, then I oil them and I put them in a spare fridge, and that makes them good up to 9 months. Now, oiling them is easy, folks. In my original video, I did it with mineral oil, but I no longer use mineral oil. Any kind of lightweight food grade oil will work. It's simple. You wash your eggs till they're clean. You let them dry, air dry. And then you oil them. You put a bit of oil in the palm of your hand, you oil them. And why does this preserve the eggs for up to 9 months? Because eggshells are porous. If they were not porous, then those little chicks, when they're getting ready to hatch, would smother. They would never develop because they need oxygen, correct? So when you oil the eggs, and you have to completely oil them, you're closing the pores of the shell. And if air can't get in, then they have a tendency to last longer. And they're supposed to last up to 9 months. But I've never had them make it past Christmas because, well, I bake. So, and they say you can put them in a cool, dark room. You don't have to put them in a fridge. I have a little spare fridge I keep out in the porch for extra stuff, and that's where I keep my oiled eggs. And it works very well. Which brings me to the next section. Explain click here. Okay. Like that egg video, okay, like the dehydrated eggs video, every once in a while, when I do a video, I may refer to another video I have done in the past. For instance, the dehydrating egg video has a bar that pops up and says, click here for my oiled eggs video, or whatever it says. What that means is when you see this colored bar pop up, I am automatically either referring to another video or I'm answering a question that I know is going to be asked. And if you put your cursor with your mouse over that click here bar, it will open that video, that reference video, in a new window that will answer your question. Okay? So if I don't answer a question that's been answered in the video, it's because you didn't notice or didn't understand the click here for bar in the video. So whenever you see the click here, click there and watch that video before asking the question, because 9 times out of 10 I've already answered it. Ever tried chili cheese omelet? Never. Somebody send me a recipe. Don't inundate me with 26,000 recipes for chili cheese omelet, but sure, email me at mrsvolfe@gmail.com and send me a recipe and I'll try it. Oh, somebody asked a question on my Parliament Hill legalizing marijuana video when we went to Parliament Hill for the legalizing of marijuana rally. They asked me, said, you're against smoking, but isn't this still smoking? Yes and no. In Canada, when you are a legal medical marijuana user, you're only allowed to smoke it. You're not allowed to make it into edibles, which I think is really ridiculous because for the most part, it's the safest way to ingest marijuana for pain or seizures or whatever you're using it for. But here in Canada, the only legal way to use medical marijuana is to smoke it or vaporize it. But yes, it is still smoking in the sense that you're drawing smoke into your lungs. But it is not the same as cigarette smoke. For the most part, marijuana, for the most part, there are some people out there who can be addicted to it, and it would be more of a psychological addiction. But I am an alcoholic, folks, and I was a massive cigarette addict, okay? For 26 years, I smoked cigarettes. And for 20 out of those 26 years, I was 2 packs a day plus. Now, marijuana, I have no addiction issues. Not like I did with alcohol, not like I did with cigarettes. Okay? It's not smoking in the sense that the way you smoke cigarettes. For starters, and I looked this up on Google under how many chemicals are in tobacco, and the quitsmokingsupport.com says cigarette smoke contains over 4,000 chemicals, including 43 known cancer-causing carcinogenic compounds and 400 other toxins. These include nicotine, tar, carbon monoxide, as well as formaldehyde, ammonia, hydrogen, cyanide, arsenic, and DDT. Nicotine is highly addictive. That's not to say that marijuana can't be addictive, but it is rare as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm getting really tired of people putting up that pair of steaks on Facebook and calling them lungs and saying this is marijuana has more tar in it than is worse for you than cigarettes. Bull crap. Okay, marijuana in its own is not. Now listen folks, I'm not trying to convince anybody. Everybody has their own opinions about it. Okay, so please, this is just my opinion. I'm not asking you to validate or argue with me. This is just the way I see it. Okay, marijuana is a plant, God-given. All medications that are being shoved down our throats by doctors and pharmaceutical companies at one time, the ailments that they treat were once treated herbally. Okay? Most chemical, like aspirin. Aspirin, when it first came out, aspirin was just a chemical remake of white willow bark. Okay? Same thing. Absolutely same thing, only it's a chemical variation. Most medications started off that way. Okay? Now, having said that, I don't know too many people who smoke 50 joints a day. When I smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, that's 50 cigarettes. When I smoke a medical marijuana joint, it lasts me 3 days. Unless I've just had surgery or I'm under the attack of I'm under a fibromyalgia attack and I'm pretty much debilitated. Okay? And they're only comparing a marijuana joint with a cigarette when it comes to tar. Because pretty much that's all there is to it, is tar. There's no nicotine, there's no formaldehyde, there's no DDT, there's no carcinogens that I am aware of in marijuana. Marijuana is a plant. Tobacco once was a plant, and it's now been treated and bastardized to make it highly addictive. And come on, folks, it's a chemical thing. Chemical companies. Don't get me started on chemical companies and how they addict us to their products so that the pharmaceutical companies can treat us. It's all a big scam. So, no, in my eyes, smoking medical marijuana and smoking cigarettes are nowhere in the same ballpark. And I think that is pretty much it. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our house. Yeah, and please don't look at my hair. It's in that in-between stage. I haven't decided whether I'm going to let it grow out or I'm going to get it cut again, so it's kind of here. Okay? So, I love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Remember, questions, mrswolfie@gmail.com, and put question in the subject line. Okay? I hope you guys have a great weekend. Mwah! Take care. Bye-bye.